what was Ashok Singh's reaction? What was going in your mind? We're very keen to know what is that, what is, the sense that you had of the way things would pan out.
As everyone knows, Ashok Singhal's one-pointed agenda was Ram Temple. And he was traveling far and wide the country. He has come to me several times. And once when there was a talk between with the Shankaracharya and the Muslim personal law board, it all failed. And so he was so disappointed. So he came to me right from Kanchipuram to Bangalore. At the time I told him, I have the intuition, I have this feeling that the vision that there's a temple which is dilapidated. There is a Kali temple, Dev Kali temple. Dev Kali is the Kuldevi of Sri Ram. And that temple is completely in dismay. No proper arrangements are there. This is what I feel. Is there such a temple? I asked him. Then we found out, yes, there are two Kali Mandir. One is Choti Kali, another is Dev Kali Mandir, which is just outskirts of Ayodhya. Then he said, no, we have to revive this temple and, reconsecrate that place. So we found a proper muhurt and we went there. Ashok Singhal ji was also present. And several people from Delhi, Mahesh Gupta ji was also there with me. And we had all the 4 Vedic Pandits go there and we reconsecrated the temple. There was a pond right in front which had become just a garbage dump. And that pond was clean and fresh water was brought in there. And Nitya Gopal Das ji, who was there, was leading the Ram Janambhoomi. He was also present. So with all the presence of all the saints and some imams also, everybody was present. We had a satsang that evening and we prayed that this thing should happen. Then again I had a premonition, this will happen only after 14 years. So Ashok Singhal ji was pressurizing me, was telling me, see, Vajpayee ji, you pressurize him. We don't mind even if the government goes, but Ram, he should bring a resolution and Ram temple must be built. There was no talk between Ashok ji and Vajpayee ji at that time. There was a lot of tension between them. So then I assured him, no, you keep going, it will happen. Then we had a satsang at Ashok ji's house also, later in Lucknow that next day. And that's it. And the temple, after the temple, there is no, after that temple consecration, there has been no bloodshed, no violence, no, any mishap in the whole of Ayodhya. If you go through the history, and what I'm saying is for everything gross, there is a subtle reason, subtle cause. And we need to look into the subtle. And that's the way, the job, work of all the gurus. They look into the subtle karan, a reason behind when something is not happening.
Which may not be known, which may not be identified, and which may be beyond the perspective of the politicians. But now, again, in a spiritual sense, if you can elaborate for all our believers who are watching the program, and I believe most of the audience of Republic are firm believers, can you explain the connection between the destroyed temple of Devakali, which you mentioned, which had to be resurrected, and you were deeply involved with the resurrection of that temple? Can you, for all believers, explain to us the link between the Devakali temple and the Ram Janambhoomi temple? What is the spiritual connection between the two?
It's what is called the Daivi Prakop. There is, not the blessings of Ma Kali was necessary for anything to progress forward. Like, any function, we start with Ganesh festival, right? Ganesh Puja. Without Ganesh Puja, no even Puja, no Yagyas happen. In the same way here, the Kul Devata of Sri Ram, Devkali Mandir, was not being attended, and so that had to be re-established. And that, subtle energy, when there is positivity comes in a subtle field, the subtle energy, subtle blessings come from all these Devi Devtas, then our work becomes much easier. And that is needed. That's why you see, even before the, in Ramayana, Bhagwan Sri Ram does Shiva Pratishtha, Shivling Pratishtha in Rameshwaram. He does Shiv Puja before going to the war. Right? So, and here, there is a lot of controversy, I know, about the temple being incomplete and Pran Pratishtha being happened. I want to remind them, Sri Ram did the Pran Pratishtha of Shivji, and there was no temple at the time. Temple was built after the Shivji was, consecrated there in Rameshwaram.
So let me take you straight into that. Gurudev, there is a politics that's going on behind this, the Ram temple Pran Pratishtha ceremony. And obviously some people are saying, why do you want to do it now? Why is it not completely constructed? Some other people are raising the issue that one or two of the Shankaracharyas are not coming. Every attempt is being made to cast a shadow over this very, very sacred event, over which there is a lot of joy among Hindus and even non-Hindus across the entire country. Can I have your views on these arguments that have been put forth, specifically, as you mentioned, that it's not completely constructed? Second, that the Shankaracharyas may not be coming. What is your view on it? Does this cast any real shadow over the very important ceremony?
The temples are built by agamas. There is agama shastras are there. There are 108 agamas that pertaining to Vishnu temples, 28 agamas that pertain to Shiva temples. Like that, 64 agamas are there that talks about how the Devi temple should be constructed, what puja should be done. Now here, I would say there are many, many views. It's not one. There are many. That's why India has so many sampradayas, so many traditions. And that mosaic is that's a very beautiful thing to have. So different people have different opinions. That's okay. Shankaracharya's not coming, it's their wish. If they don't want to come and attend, it is absolutely left to them. But the date that has been chosen, I wouldn't say that is bad. It's a good date what they have chosen. I see the next year is called Krodhi, means anger. So this year is called Shubhakrit, where good things are happening. So in this sense, the date, see, Arnab, astrologically, if you see, there is not one date which is 100% correct. There will be flaws. But the present date which is chosen is not very bad, time is not bad. So that's okay, they can do it. If some Shankaracharyas are objecting to it, it is purely their opinion. But I can tell with authority, it is okay to do the way it is being done. It's okay as long as the Garbhagriha is complete, we can do Pran Pratishtha. When the Shikhar is built, later on there will be another puja, that's called that Shikhar Kalashabhishek. वो बाद में होता है. तो इस पर बहुत बड़ा विवाद पैदा करने का
तो क्यों इसको पैदा किया जा रहा है? जैसे कि एक सीधा सवाल आपसे कर रहा हूँ, अगर कोई शंकराचार्य नहीं आएंगे तो उस पर क्या ऐसा कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी कह सकता है कि अभी इसके कारण प्राण प्रतिष्ठा जो हमारी जो प्राण प्रतिष्ठा है उसको भी रोकी जाए?
ना, रुकने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं. देखिए, जब लोग सेलिब्रेट करना चाहते हैं, people were wanting to celebrate this immediately after the judgment which had arrived. 500 years wait is a long time. Now already we have held back their spirit of celebration for almost 4 years right now. So it's high time that we unleash the spirit in people to come out and celebrate. And that's what they want to do. And see, it's the wisdom of our Prime Minister who said there should be no celebration when the judgment comes in favor of the temple. So it should not hurt the sentiment of other community. We were holding back this joy and spirit of celebration in the entire population. And so now you see everyone is joining. The Muslims are part of it, Christians are part of it, the whole country is coming together to celebrate. And I think it's the best time that has been chosen, and we cannot stop anymore. The temple construction will keep happening. It may take several more months to finish, or maybe years. But what is now available, what is ready, we should just go on.
Gurudev,
my
are
opinion.
the Muslims a part of this celebration? You know, we are just days away from the Pran Pratishtha of the Bhavya Ram Mandir. And I remember that in 2018, we were covering very closely what you were doing. And I must say today to all the viewers that it's not just the court verdict. It's also, viewers, we must understand there was a setting, there was a mood setting which happened, and the process of reconciliation happened before the court order, when Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar sat with all the representatives of both the sides. I remember he had sat and he even told, there were 12 trunks which were given full of documents to the Chief Justice of India at that point of time. Gurudev was part of the negotiation which went on with both sides. Gurudev, at that time you had said that India will turn into another Syria if this dispute is not resolved. I remember you also said that we can't make Lord Ram to be born in another place, while you were saying why the Hindus should be given the site. My direct question to you is, one, have Muslims actually accepted the reality? B, what is your sense of the Muslim community? Are they truly part of this celebration, or is there a feeling of angst inside them about the Ram temple today?
As far as I know, today there is very good feelings even among the Muslims. I don't see there is any such bickering. When I went and met about 1,200 imams and other religious leaders throughout the country during the mediation time, I tell you, except 2 or 3, everyone was willing to be part of this. Everyone was willing for a peaceful and happy settlement. Nobody wants to carry this on further anymore. Their only concern was, it should not become a precedence for 3,000 other mosques. So that was their concern and worry. And a second thing was that except just couple of lawyers and a few people, most of them were willing to come to the settlement. And many of them have written, they're given in writing that they are ready to be part of peaceful settlement.
But what is this?
In fact, Arnab, that nobody wanted 5 acres. Muslims never even asked for 5 acres of land. It is our suggestion to give them so that everyone feels good about it. To feel good factor is where the solution that came, and which Supreme Court also came up as a
Gurudev, do you think
judgment.
it's right to call the 22nd event a political event, which is the reason many political parties are saying we won't go there? Congress says we are not going there because it is a political event. Do you think that interpretation is correct?
My request to all of them is, see, this Lord Ram belongs to everybody, belongs to the whole population of India and beyond. So keep your politics aside. Just come and participate in this program. And this is once in a lifetime program. People have waited for 500 years for this. We shouldn't miss it.
So Gurudev, I now want to take you back.
Politics
Yeah,
apart.
you're saying something.
No, everything is not politics. You should see beyond the politics. Now, we say, okay, BJP is building the temple or RSS is building the temple. No, I am asking them, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has built the new parliament. Will you refuse to go and sit in the parliament? No, though it's the Prime Minister, because he has built the parliament, you would not say, I mean, it's a very foolish argument. So this is the resource of the people of the country, and of course our Prime Minister has taken such an initiative to revive all the temples, whether it's Kedarnath, whether Kashi, or will you say I will not go to Kashi because it was, the whole plan was made, corridor was made by a person of another party. I would say here you should see beyond your party politics and see this is the आस्था of people. लोगों की आस्था इसके साथ जुड़ी है और जो अपलिफ्टमेंट हुआ है हमारे कल्चर के लिए, सिविलाइजेशन के लिए, ऐसा कभी पहले हुआ ही नहीं. That's a great moment of pride for all Indians. ये गुलामी मानसिकता से हम बाहर आए, इसके लिए इतना बड़ा काम हुआ है. I think this is a symbol of bravery, symbol of coming out of slave mentality, symbol of coming out of complacency and ascertaining our cultural right, our civilizational glory. This should, everyone should be part of it.
Which Gurudev takes us to a deeper question. Many parties, political parties and political thinkers are uncomfortable with Ram temple. They say that it is a symbol of Hindu triumphalism. It's a symbol of Hindu supremacism and Hindu revivalism. I personally have said that if Hinduism is being revived and if it is going through a revival, it is good for the entire world because the values of Hinduism will go across the entire world. But there is a sense of discomfort that many people have with the Ram temple. They earlier had it also when the Kashi temple was being rebuilt, and they will, I am sure, have it more if Somnath temple is going to be reconstructed. We are told that there's a whole program around Somnath also. There is a feeling that the government of the day, center, whatever, BJP is putting too much focus on reviving Hindu civilizational heritage. And they say, I am against this view, but they say it comes at the cost of secularism. I think somewhere, Gurudev, leaders like you should put an end to this ongoing discussion that's going on. People are uncomfortable. No, too much Hinduism nowadays. We should be passive Hindus? We are becoming aggressive Hindus. What is your view of all this, Gurudev?
I know there are many such misconceptions. I give the right for people to be in ignorance because they just don't want to see the truth. They don't want to see the light. They are dwindling. Their numbers are minuscule today. They should go to the ground level and just look at what people want. People are today very proud of being who they are, what they are. That was not the case before. Someone who crosses the boundaries of India will even change their names. That's not happening today. You see, the revivalism, when something good is being revived, why to shy away from that? Be part of the revivalism. It's a flood that is happening today of upliftment of the whole nation, and you should just be part of that. See, when you say development doesn't only mean making roads and building houses. It also development of the civilization, the culture, the values that we uphold. And today the world is welcoming our values, these values. If you closely watch the developed countries, the struggle they are going through today is appalling, and we don't want those ills of the society come into our society as well. 1 in every 3 person is getting depressed. And they're all turning towards yoga, they are all turning towards chanting, which was a taboo before. I know 42 years back when I started Art of Living, yoga was a taboo. Not everybody wants to even think about it in the world. But today, I tell you, 1/4 of the population, maybe now 1/3 of the population, world's population, are practicing meditation, yoga, chanting, and all this. So people now should wake up to this reality and not just shy away from or feel so entrenched in the old colonial mindset.
I think so. I think people should be comfortable with who they are. And Hindus are becoming comfortable with who they are and their essence. And I think this is very important. I think actually, Gurudev, too much politics, symbolic politics has happened around Hinduism. You know, you also put religion against religion, don't you think so? I mean, Rajiv Gandhi did Shahbano to appease the Muslims. Then he turned around, he tried to open the locks to appease the Hindus. Then he tried to start his campaign from Ayodhya, and you end up getting muddled up. You know, you end up moving from appeasing this side to appeasing that side. Don't you think so? I mean, we should move towards a different approach to politics rather than use religion. I think people who, again my question, I want to ask you one more question. Gurudev, constantly we are told that religion is for the home. Don't be religious outside the home. What is the need to show your religion in the form of temples or collective prayer? We are also told, Gurudev, a lie which was told recently by a person who said, we must learn from Mahatma Gandhi, he never went to a temple. I said on my program, that's not true. Mahatma Gandhi went to temples. And the person said, in fact, I'll name the person, his name is Ram Goha, he's from Bangalore only, and he said that Mahatma Gandhi believed in sort of multi-faith worship. That we should all people from different faiths sit together and worship together. That's why we'll become a better Hindu. I want to know your thoughts to these very secular ideas. I mean, is this truly secularism or is this a confused approach?
So he should mix their name also. You know, it should not be one name, Hindu name. He should mix all that, you know, Akbar, Amar Akbar,
Exactly.
Ram rakh le sab apna. He can have bury half the body and burn half the body. What is this nonsense?
You can't do this.
You cannot do such things. You know, collectively you have to do every tradition is unique in itself, and we must respect that. Instead of trying to make a khichdi out of everything together, that's not, you know, it will not be acceptable to anybody. You know, someone who did like that, put the names, everybody, Ram and Rahim, everything in one name, what's happening to them all. So we must see, we should respect who we are, and we should respect others for what they are. And we should take part in their celebrations, like, so hundreds of Muslims are taking part in this celebration. You know, there were Sufi Muslims who came and presented me Tulsi Ramayan. You know, during the mediation time, they brought Quran, also Tulsi Ramayan. They knew Chaupai so well in Ayodhya. So what I'm saying is that people have that respect and have their traditions that should be respected and maintained intact.
I also agree, Gurudev. I mean, I don't know, Gurudev. I think things are changing. Sometimes I look at the present situation, I feel more than politics, society is also changing, and people are becoming more aware of who they are. Gurudev, I want to let our... Yes, Gurudev, please.
Yeah.
Please go.
And Arnab, young people are much, much different today. They are not so fanatic, they are not consumeristic in nature. They are seekers. They want to know something bigger. They want to go deep into the spiritual aspect of life. You see, thousands of young people in this country are moving in that direction. They want development. They don't want conflict. They don't want the silly politics. They are much aware of those things. Now they are looking beyond what the previous generation used to get stuck with.
Well, that's excellent if they are, Gurudev. I think that'll be fantastic, because our country's economy cannot grow without a true sense of who we are as a people. Gurudev, I think it's very important to discuss with you a little inside story on the scale of the dialogue. So tell me some inside stories. And I'm one of the few interviewers who can take a few liberties with you, Gurudev, because you allow me. You're very gracious. So I always like some breaking news. So now that the Ram temple is happening, we must know what all has gone in the back rooms. So Gurudev, you had mentioned that Chief Justice of India, Gogoi, had invited you to his place and told you that the Ayodhya dispute is going on for 500 years, and the court had 8 huge trunks full of materials and documents related to the case, which were in Urdu and in Hindi. These documents had to be translated to English, which resulted in the number of trunks increasing to 12. Mr. Gogoi, the Chief Justice, had also said that if he asks the whole judicial strength of the country to study the 12 trunks, it will take them at least 2.5 years just to study what is written in those trunks. After Mr. Gogoi requested you to sit with the parties involved in the dispute, you then sat with the concerned parties, which were 25 for 8 months. And you said that some of these parties had 3 to 4 generations, and some of those generations became lawyers, took LLB degree only to fight the case. So these are incredible stories. People don't know. You see, Gurudev, now what is in the headlines is Supreme Court decides, land is to be given to the Hindus, temple is constructed, temple construction happens. We need to know, let's say, Gurudev, you are talking to a 20-year-old today who was 14 or 15 when this was going on. They would have no idea of what was going on. Tell them a little bit about those inside stories, sitting with the other side. Did you fight? Were there friendly or unfriendly conversations? What happened between between all these parties? And just a little bit of the inside story, please.
Arnab, first of all, I was surprised that I was inducted in that mediation panel. So I found out about that when I was in the airport, Delhi airport I was coming. Then I suddenly saw through the channel that my name is there. And after that, when this happened in March, I said, I am not a lawyer. My subject is science and philosophy and knowledge, spiritual knowledge. But they said, no, you have to be there. You can communicate better with all the conflicting groups. I said, okay. Then I was in Chandigarh for a drug-free India campaign. And that day, 11:30 in the night, I got a call from Prime Minister. Only very rarely I speak to Prime Minister. That was one occasion. Another occasion was when he called with the Ukraine issue. Because I remember this, he called me and when I was in Chandigarh, and he said, I was staying in the Chandigarh University at the time. He said, Gurudev, aap aage badhiye. This sabka saath, sabka vikas, it was not just a political statement as far as our PM is concerned. It comes from his heart. He was so concerned, he wanted both the communities to come to a better understanding. And Ram temple to be built with Sauhard ke saath. Ek samjhota, Sauhard, a goodwill and friendship. So he never wanted that one party to dominate or win, one community to feel victorious and the other community being suppressed. So I could really feel that Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas ka jo slogan hai, it was right there. It was said, आपकी तपस्या का फल है गुरुदेव, आप आगे बढ़िए, जो भी कुछ भी चाहिए तो बताइए. So then we moved on with that. And it is very interesting. 3 to 4 generations of lawyers have been fighting this case. So, we had a court in Faizabad, and the other 2 judges who are with me, honorable judges, Kalifullah ji and Sri Ram Panchu, they were not very comfortable with Hindi. I was the one who was more comfortable. Of course, Sri Ram Panchu knew Hindi. But then, and many who came they were not so fluent in English and they were more in Hindi. So you know how it went, but it was such a wonderful experience for everybody that there was no bitterness among the parties. Many times the opposite parties would come together to the court. They would sit together. But in the beginning, of course, I was opposed by the Muslim side. They said, you have announced about their support for temple. How can you be judge? They challenged me, and they even challenged that I should be removed from the mediation committee. Then I asked the person, that lawyer, look, today you are lawyer. Tomorrow when you become a judge, your role is different, isn't it? Yesterday, I was no doubt I was playing the role of a lawyer. I advocated that there should be temple. But today I am a mediator. Then it's different. It's only lawyers who become judges. Then you cannot hold them that you fought for that case or this one, isn't it? So then we carried on with that, and there are young people. We asked them, why did you become lawyer? They said, I want to fight this case. That's why we became lawyers. The Nirmohi Akhada lawyers, and and sons who came to the panel discussions, everybody had this one goal: we want to see the Ram temple built. From the Hindus, of course, that's a dream of the Hindus. Muslims were also not opposed. They said, राम मंदिर अयोध्या में नहीं तो और कहाँ बनेगा, यहाँ बनाइए, मगर हमारा धर्म में हम दे नहीं सकते, उसके लिए हमें सोचना पड़ेगा कैसे लेना. So बाद में many of them have agreed to the 5 acres of land somewhere outside, and to tell you in short that there was a good atmosphere. Though in the beginning I had to take the brickbats from both sides, from Hindus also. He said, "ये कहाँ से आ गए गुरुदेव इधर बीच में? हम तो जेल गए, हम तो इतना काम कर रहे थे ये सब." भाई हम किसी की प्रतिस्पर्धा में तो नहीं, हम आपकी सहायता के लिए आए हैं. तो वो समझ नहीं रहे थे. तो इस तरह से, मगर अंततोगत्वा I know that it will fructify, it will become a success.
So when you look back, Gurudev, you do. I get my own sense is that this mediation process, which I think was going on through 2017, 18, 19. That was the period, 17 to 19, if I am not mistaken, when the mediation process was going on. I feel it did contribute to a mood setting before the Supreme Court verdict. That's my sense. It was not a futile exercise, because for the first time, there was a feeling that the matter can be resolved. Because it had gone on for so long, people had given up. And also, don't you agree, Gurudev, that there were vested interests? I mean, also among those who were opposed to the Ram Mandir, they had a vested interest in delaying a resolution to this matter.
Absolutely, absolutely. There are some elements whose जीविका इसके साथ चलता था. Their livelihood was in this conflict. So some people thrive on conflicts. Here, mainly people who, let me say, put it this way. Yeah, some people's livelihood was conflict. Whereas in other side, if you see, people were willing to come together and settle this once for all.
What do you make of like Muslim Personal Law Board and OSC and others who constantly, even right now, they make these incendiary comments, and the people can get provoked. People can get provoked.
They are not at all. I tell you, they are not at all the party to this at all. People who are party to the conflict were all spoken and were all made to agree for this, and they see the light through. They see that these are other, what you call as people who are not at all party to the conflict.
Now, Gurudev, a difficult question. You said at the earlier part of the conversation that many people felt that if Ram Mandir issue is resolved from the Muslim side, that there would be a final resolution, and their biggest fear was 3,000 other temples or other places of worship. Now, Gurudev, a question. Gyanvapi has come up, Mathura has come up, Kashi. These are also issues which are emotionally connected to Hindus. Very, very strongly emotionally connected. Gyanvapi is already in the court, and I think Krishna Janmabhoomi issue is also going to the court. So, all the temples which are being built or rebuilt are not like a reconstruction or rather a development project like Kashi Vishwanath or Somnath. There are others where it's in the nature of a land dispute, if I may say so, on whether a temple had been built over by a Muslim ruler, etc., and you are aware of the details of this. My question to you is, Gurudev, how do we tackle this? Given the fact that, one, there is a need to establish temples where they belong, and for Hindus to worship in places that are sacred to them. I mean, you can't, if it's like telling the Christians to go to Tuscany and not go to the Vatican. They can't do that. Similarly, on the other side, there are politicians who will use this to breed insecurity, and thirdly, there is a court process. Gurudev, you are a person with divine wisdom. Now, you saw certain matters in the past and you gave your thoughts to Ashok Singhal ji when he met you. Where do you see this going?
Hindus' demand has been for these three temples from long time, right from the beginning of our independence, or even before that, I would say Kashi Vishwanath, the Maryada Purushottam Sri Ram, and Sri Krishna's birthplace. These have been the demand or the wish of the people from a long, long time. And you know about all the history, what happened to the Mathura, Dargah and all that. It was already been negotiated and sold, and then later on it was blocked. Something happened like that. Again, here I would say one thing is to correct the wrong that has been done in the past. Second is to see in the future there is a harmonious growth in our society with respect for all. Everyone will have to live by their self-respect. Nobody's feeling must be hurt, and that we need to see. And we live in this big country with so many diverse traditions and religions and thoughts. We cannot go on fighting over these issues that will hamper our development. That's a very, very big thing that we all have to look at. Especially the younger generation, they want to go forward into science and into spirituality, into development, into art and culture, and that cannot be held back with these issues which could really tear them apart. That's where I would say wisdom should prevail. You know, before you could never think that, okay, Hajj, subsidies will be finished one day, or women will be free from triple talaq, they get justice, or whatever Kashmir, whatever has happened in Kashmir, this was unthinkable before. But with skill and with communication with people and the dexterity with which our government is taking, I think that is so much needed. Abolition of 370 is such a big gift, not only to India but to Kashmir also. People, they're all happy with this thing, you see. So of course there will be vested interest. Some people will have different of opinion. These differences will have to be sorted out beyond politics, and people will definitely use any contentious issue to gain political mileage. That you cannot avoid.
Yeah, but you know, Even in this 11th hour, it was projected that the Ram Mandir is being projected as a symbol of India going to an apocalyptic time. Okay, so let me put it differently, Gurudev. Is this a moment of closure? Or is this a moment when more demands for temples, etc., will grow? I mean, Gurudev, mediation, court order, Ram temple construction. Now, is this a moment of closure? Is this a moment of closure, or is this going to move into another chapter which may lead to more Hindu-Muslim conflict in a different way in the future? Or is it a moment of closure, historically and spiritually?
Arnab, you want me to...
Yeah, because only you can predict, Gurudev. I won't tell you privately, viewers, how many things you have predicted in the past also, but I want your divine wisdom.
I would rather abstain from predicting. This country is so diverse. There are all different type of people and their mindsets. We only wish that everything goes well and our country becomes one of the top economy of the world and go on the progressive
path. You have art
path.
of living centers all across the world. You operate from Canada, America, Europe. You operate from Scandinavia. Sometimes when I do a video call with you, I'm surprised to find you in the Arctic. Gurudev, tell me now, beyond Ram Temple, is it true that we are entering into a very important and strategically, spiritually, geopolitically very significant time for the country? And what is the role of enlightened Hinduism in that? A broad question. What is the role of enlightened Hinduism in that? What is your message to Hindus, and to Indians across, of what their role is in this time, given what is happening globally for the country? And you are well aware of every detail.
Arnab, the globally burning issue is mental health. 1 in every 3 person on the planet is suffering from some or other type of mental depression and mental health issues. First thing, loneliness, very big issue. Third is violence. Every 40 seconds, one individual is taking his or her life away. And our philosophy, our yoga and Vedanta philosophy has the power to reverse this, or to bring better mental health, better social behavior. It has the power to, stop suicidal tendencies, bring people together, improve communication system. See, the wars today are perceived threat. The threat perception in the minds of people, a few people will push them towards war. In United Nations, they always say peace and security. I told them, see, you say peace and security. You do everything for security. You don't invest in peace. Peace building effort. So that peace building effort is most important, and India plays the great role in this. And Indian civilization, culture, its philosophy can put the balm on the conflict that is happening in the world.
And what in your view is the Prime Minister's role now? You are very, you're close to him. You speak to him on various occasions. I'm sure you have personal conversations. You watched his politics, and
no. You see, as I said, I've only spoken to him 2 or 3 times.
So what is your view of the?
He is so busy. I never.
Now, what is your view of the role of the government, of our leadership at a global level?
But our Prime Minister role in the world scenario is very, very prominent and very significant. And he has played the best role, I would say. The way he has handled both Ukraine and Russia, or whether Israel and Palestinian issue, or the way he has handled the Arab countries, it is very good, superb. The way he has held his, grounds with all the international pressures mounting. It needs someone with such a brave, and resolute mindset to do that, and he has done.
Gurudev, last.
Not only that, see, he is also a bhakt. He is doing 11-day fasting for the consecration ceremony. I say, no, I had requested him through the media that he need not do such a kator tapasya, because, he has so much responsibility on his head, on his shoulders. So I would request him to take care of his health, and he doesn't have to, but though he is used to doing this, he has enormous strength in this. But this is the work of all our spiritual leaders. We have the capacity, power to remove any doshas, even if it happens. That's why Guru is invited. A Guru can nullify, even if there are some flaws, our Gurus can nullify them. Samarth Guru hote hain, तो सारे दोष को वो मिटाने वाले होते हैं. हाँ, तो वैसे गुरु नहीं बनते, इनमें सामर्थ्य होता है, वही गुरु.
गुरुदेव, lastly, आप कब जा रहे होते? When are you going? And what will be the predominant sentiment in your mind when you are there? I mean, what is the message you have for all Indians on that day?
I'll be sitting somewhere there and in a corner, and I'll watch and enjoy what's happening.
Wonderful.
Yes, I'll be part.
And you have been part of it.
You
have been part of it, and you have been a part of the process of making the Ram temple happen. And Gurudev, for that we are ever so grateful to you. And I am very grateful for you to spare time for me on this Makar Sankranti day. Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you, Gurudev.
Ransomware and other advanced threats are on the rise. Your organization can be the next target. Are you ready? Securite Hawk Hunt XDR with AI-powered enhanced detection and response can help prepare your organization to counter next ransomware attack, data breach and advanced threat. Securite Hawk Hunt XDR.
तुम एक मस्जिद को खो चुके, वो तुम्हारी गफलत की वजह से हुआ था. अगर आप होश के नाखून नहीं लेंगे तो फिर ये तमाम जो लोग आज इख्तिदार की कुर्सियों पर बैठने वाले हैं, ये जालिम लोग कि हमारी मस्जिदों पर ललचाई हुई नजरों से देख रहे हैं, वो जानते हैं कि मुसलमान को मस्जिद से दूर कर दो, फिर ये निहत्था हो जाएगा.
Powered by Riva University, a social impact multidisciplinary university. Securite, रखे देश का हर बिजनेस साइबर सुरक्षित. Secure your tomorrow today. Amazing spaces के लिए Green Lamb Laminates. कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा. PolicyBazaar.com. हर family होगी insured. Co-powered by Mankind Pharma brings premium DMF quality medicine for India.
मेरे भाई अरविंद कुमार की कुछ महीने पहले एक्सीडेंट में डेथ हो गई. उन्होंने पॉलिसी बाजार से टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस लिया हुआ था, जो अब भाभी के घर के खर्च और बच्चों की पढ़ाई में काम आएगा. पॉलिसी बाजार की टीम ने क्लेम दिलवाने में हमारी पूरी मदद की.
क्लेम के टाइम पे आपकी हेल्प के लिए हमेशा तैयार. पॉलिसी बाजार, 1 करोड़ का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 470 रुपए महीने से शुरू.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
टिप चाहिए? पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
Mr. Owaisi seems to have made it a pattern and a habit to always somehow comment on a communal line. There is never a concept in terms of his party's colleagues, whether within his family, those who are there, or outside his family, for them to say anything that might be positive or development oriented. It almost seems a certainty that he or his party colleagues will speak only in something to create a sort of a division between Hindus and Muslims.
Powered by Riva University, a social impact multidisciplinary university. Secrite, रखे देश का हर बिजनेस साइबर सुरक्षित. Secure your tomorrow today. Amazing spaces के लिए Green Lamb Laminates. कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा. PolicyBazaar.com. हर फैमिली होगी इंश्योर्ड. Co-powered by Mankind Pharma brings premium DMF quality medicine for India.
Hi. What's that? That's a Manish Malhotra.
Not your dress.
The cupboard. The laminate is a Manish Malhotra design.
Century Laminates by Manish Malhotra. Fashion for your furniture.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
By the blessings of the Lord of the Universe, Sri Jagannath, the historic Sri Mandir Parikrama project is getting dedicated to the people of Odisha and the world at large. The Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Naveen Patnaik, Gajapati Maharaj Divya Singh Deo and other dignitaries will be performing a Mahayagya. You are cordially invited to the Lord's abode in Puri to join the same.
केंद्रीय शिक्षा मंत्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान और मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ ने लखनऊ में पीएम श्री स्कूलों के 404 करोड़ रुपए की लागत से होने वाले आधुनिकीकरण कार्यक्रम का शुभारंभ किया.
मैं सबसे पहले आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का हृदय से आभारी हूँ. शिक्षा को राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति के रूप में उन्होंने लागू करते हुए 2020 में पूरे देश को एक नए विजन के साथ आगे बढ़ने की एक नई प्रेरणा दी और उसी श्रृंखला का हिस्सा है पीएम श्री स्कूल की योजना.
इसके साथ ही प्रोजेक्ट अलंकार के तहत माध्यमिक विद्यालयों में सुविधाओं के लिए 347 करोड़ की धनराशि भी हस्तांतरित की गई. प्रदेश में गुणवत्तापूर्ण शिक्षा के लिए प्रतिबद्ध योगी सरकार की इस योजना का लाभ प्रदेश के लगभग 5 करोड़ बच्चों को होगा.
Yeah, Ajay, look at your dad. Will we be the same at his age?
Absolutely yes, if we plan our future like him.
How?
My father had invested in LIC's Jeevan Akshay, which gives immediate and guaranteed annuity at regular intervals, that too for life.
Wow. But do we have to wait until his age?
Absolutely not. We recently invested in LIC's new Jeevan Shanti, which gives deferred annuity, which means regular income after some years.
I see.
LIC. LIC's annuity plans give 10 annuity options and flexibility in receiving regular income. LIC, हर पल आपके साथ.
Hi. What's that? That's a Manish Malhotra.
Not your dress.
The cupboard. The laminate is a Manish Malhotra design.
Century Laminates by Manish Malhotra. Fashion for your furniture.
Live it up, live it up.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
Eat it on time. And please, ride the bike slowly.
Okay.
And this is for your safety.
Arey, I almost forgot.
LIC.
This is for our safety. दिल की सुनो।
LIC चलो।
LIC हर पल आपके साथ।
From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.